Hello and welcome to Hemmings Garage Overtime. My name's Junior Nevison. In our last episode, we got our A100 tuned up. We took it for a rip around the parking lot and it's running pretty good. But we noticed that our rear differential is making a fair amount of noise. So in this episode, we're going to dig into that and see what's wrong. So pop the tires off, get the drive shaft out, pull the axles, and pull the carrier. Everything comes off nice and easy. Oh boy, did I luck out with that. Almost wore that one in the face. Let's see if we can crack this loose. Oh, that's disgusting. It won't even drain. This is not an orthopedic injury coming up. Take this over to the bench and have a look. Feel the bearings, make sure they're not notchy. Backlash is not excessive. Can't move the pinion radially. Pattern on the tooth face. Make sure you don't have any real sharp edges. Toward the heel on the outer face here. Our side gears. Spider gears seem to be mating nicely. Center pin doesn't seem to be loose. You have a center pin that goes through and holds the two spider gears, which in turn holds the side gears. A lot of like one-wheel burnouts or playing in the snow, these gears will sit here and spin a lot and they can actually wear down on the cross shaft. These ones actually feel pretty good. Check the thrust on the carrier. What I'm basically doing here is just putting side-to-side load on this carrier to make sure that these bearings aren't excessively worn. If you hear a thunk, 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 you definitely need to change it. Pinion teeth actually look pretty good, but I'm a little surprised. If this is the original to the truck, it does not have a lot of miles on it. All right, well, I think I'm just going to throw it back in. Go clean out the housing, take a look in there, make sure there's no chunks floating around in the housing. But everything here seems to be fine. I'm just going to fish around in here with a magnet in case there's any. Oh, the sediment. Oh, I'm glad we took it out just for that. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, that's like warm butter. While the differential is out, I am going to drill and tap for a drain plug since Chrysler Court decided that it wasn't necessary. I would like to be able to change the fluid on a little more regular basis. You want to offset to the passenger side because your ring gear is right here. It's not going to matter so much now since I have the ring gear out, but if you can actually do this with the carrier in, just don't drain the fluid out. So when you drill and tap it, the fluid will actually take all the filings and shavings out. Try to keep it straight with the housing because it is at a little bit of an angle. And that'll help drain it all out. All your NPT taps are tapered because your plugs, even though hard to see, are also tapered. So what you don't want to do is over tap your hole so the plug goes too far in. So you just want to tap a little bit, check your plug. Oh, would you look at that? Just nailed it. Nailed it. Got it perfect. So I just hammered the bolt pattern from the axle housing into this, and now I'm just going to punch them all out. I'll take it back over, make sure it fits the bolt pattern, and then I'll lightly tap with the hammer on the outside and the inside. And then cut that, and we should have a gasket.
About to lose your fan.
Oh, my little danger fan. I went to move that one day, put my fingers right into it. My grandmother's voice came right back to me. You stay away from that fan now. Oh, close enough for government work. Right now I'm just hammering around to make a mark on the outside of our carrier flange and the inside of our carrier flange so I can take it over and cut it up. I'm using the hammer scissor. In you go, little fella. We pulled and inspected the diff. Other than being old and worn, I don't really find anything that would give us the noise that we heard running around in the parking lot. And my bearings here, I can't feel anything square or wrong with them. They move smoothly. They've obviously been here a while, but I would much prefer to keep an older Timken bearing than a lot of the stuff that's being produced now. So I'm just going to give it a shot and see what happens. You cold-blooded pig. Little Italian tune-up. Not working. Yeah, I think it's first gear. Do you hear it in second? Because I only hear it in first gear. Well, we went through the differential, you saw that, pulled that out, checked the rear axle bearings, everything seemed fine. The rear end is definitely quieter with something resembling fluid in it. That noise is shut up a little bit, but I think mostly what we're hearing is the lack of suspension bushings. We got a lot of creaking from metal to metal contact, and first gear in the A745 is unsynchronized straight cut. So when you let off the throttle, you get a lot of whine from that. But other than that, we still got a little bit of tuning to do on this. Next, I think we're going to pull the motor out. We're going to do the freeze plugs, check the cam plug, make sure that's not leaking oil, rear main seal, water pump, timing chain, etc., etc. But honestly, this little motor is pulling just fine. Hopefully the compression will stop. I don't think the oil smoke is going to stop, but just going to try and avoid going into this motor. We know it's a slippery slope once you start, but I think it's going to live. Like, share, subscribe. Please leave a comment below. As always, thank you for watching.